Anandam Paramasugam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganashadasham Tattvamasya Rilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nityanandam. Hi, this is Ma Nithya Ovyananda. Thanks for joining me today. Today I have a beautiful story Swamiji told about his own life. He describes what Buddha said to his disciples, and he related it to his own life. It's a very beautiful story, intimate story he told. He said, when Buddha was leaving his body, he revealed to his disciples, "Be a light unto yourself. Be a light unto yourself." Swamiji says how Buddha is one of the greatest enlightened masters who happened on planet Earth. He says, if you ask me, when leaving the body, Buddha shared the most powerful, important secret with which he lived. I tell you, I will not be able to use a better word than be a light unto yourself. This is the secret with which even I am living. This is the secret with which all masters are living. Raise yourself by yourself. Do not defeat yourself by yourself. Actually, there's a verse like that in the Bhagavad Gita. Basically saying how you're your best friend and your worst enemy. You know, it is up to you how you're going to be. Decide to raise yourself by yourself. I remember in 2012, I believe it was 2012, Swamiji gave that as an assignment to us, to write it 1,008 times, that verse. And I did it. But of course I did it. It took me many months. I did it. But it was an amazing process. Because even though we have Swamiji in our life, and he is our light, we still need to raise ourselves by ourselves. Because there's times when we don't listen to anybody, you know. We make the decision whether or not we want to be raised. See, once you get down the spiritual path and you start seeking, many things are healed, they're uncovered and healed. Swamiji is always helping us be in completion. He's always putting us in situations that stir us up so that we can have those things come out of us. Anything that makes us powerful, anything that makes us feel incomplete or suffering, it needs to be extracted from us. It needs to come out and be cleansed, healed, cleared away, and completed. But it's our decision also. Oftentimes, we decide not to allow that to happen. We're resistant to that, or we try to run away. Swamiji says, never run away when you're on the surgery table. And he's doing the surgery on us, helping us. And if we run away with our abdomen open while he's trying to do the surgery, it's not very good. So let's let him do the job on us. But we also have to make the decision. We have to decide, yes, I want to change. I know what I'm doing wrong, or looking into the blind spots. And be strong. Be strong and be a light unto ourselves. Because there's times when you get into such a state or a mood where you don't even understand anything that's going on. Even the master, even when he's trying to extract those things out of us, it might be painful. Or we might not like it, what's happening. So we have to decide that we want to persevere and that we want to continue and let that surgery be done. Let the healing happen. So he says, Swamiji continues to say, I can see so many thousands of people who are just not able to raise themselves by themselves. It does not mean they don't have the ability or the capability. They just don't want to. They think this is enough. They think even come to the conclusion, what is wrong with normal life? It's okay. So these kinds of things. Because a lot of times when we're going through, it can be such a, like a vice grip on us in a way, And then we start to think, well, what is wrong with regular life? Why do I want to do this seeking? It's okay, just take it easy. But I start to realize that it's not okay. Anytime we say it's okay, it's a red flag. Because, for instance, if we have a morning routine and it starts early. We have to be to yoga by 5 a.m. But before that, we do all our cleansing and our bath and all the things are done. So we have to get out of bed. And if we say, it's okay, I'll just sleep today. Okay? Then that is the start. If you say, it's okay, I'll just sleep, then you're just saying no to life in a way. You're being resistant because you've already decided to be on this path and to follow the instruction that Swamiji is giving. And there's a reason we're doing this morning routine. And I feel for me, especially because I am in a branch Adinam, I am outside of the main Adinam. Nobody's here to tell me what to do. If I want to sleep in, I can. But I still feel this drive to have integrity to the spiritual routine that Swamiji gives. And I don't want to turn over and sleep. I actually don't. Sometimes, yeah, I might be tired and I would like some maybe extra hour of sleep if I can go to bed early. But I don't feel like I want to turn over and just sleep the day away. I know so many people like that, and I can't understand it unless you're like really ill and your body needs rest somehow. It makes me feel, like funny, But if you one time, because I think in the past I may have been that way, where you say one time it's okay, and then it leads to the next day, and the next day, and the next day. And then you get so far out of alignment that you don't understand what you're doing anymore. So in order to come back to that, you have to change the context and understand again and again. You have to be ferocious with yourself. You have to raise yourself by yourself and decide you want to do it. So Swamiji says, then he further says, how the last life solution I used on me before falling into the abyss of bliss and enlightenment were these words. I was in the worst depression, but did not torture anyone else. I just felt hopelessness. I felt that all doors were shut. It became almost like my heart was being squeezed out. Literally, I could feel that squeezing. I lost respect on everything. Spirituality, enlightenment, masters, Ramakrishna, Ramana, who were like part of my life, my blood, myself. Lost everything. It was like a complete darkness. Swamiji goes on to say, but somehow this one verse was strongly inside me. It just raised itself. Like if a man tries to stand up and walk after being beaten, how it will feel. Exactly like that. This one verse, even after being beaten by my distrust, doubt, everything, just stood as one last ray of hope in me. You need to raise yourself by yourself. If anybody else raises you, they can always put you down. It is you who needs to raise yourself into enlightenment. This was my last meal handed over to me by my master before I started cooking for myself. This was the last strength with which the cosmos pushed me into my higher self. He goes on to say, I can tell you, the moment I realized, yes, I have to raise myself, immediately that one ray of hope became a decision to become enlightened. See, often Swamiji says we can just decide and within seconds be enlightened. He can touch us and make us enlightened. But for whatever reason, various reasons, every being is different. We're not making that decision. So he goes on to say, when the decision opened up, there were no patterns stopping the decision in my inner space. That decision expanded, and no pattern, doubt or greed or attachment or fear or guilt was there to stop it. And that's what he's trying to get out of us now. Those attachments to the fear, the guilt, all of those things that we feel, we're constantly completing and wringing those out of us so they're not there. So when that moment comes, when we finally decide to make the decision, there will be nothing stopping. Boom, it can just happen. So continuously we have to be ferocious and make the decision, yes, let me continue this path. Let me continue just working on it. Let me continue to allow the cosmos to help me. Let Swamiji help me get rid of all the fears and guilts and greeds and everything that can possibly stand in the way of enlightenment, of self-realization, of oneness, complete oneness and permanent oneness with the cosmos. Let that surgery continue to happen. Let me be strong. So we have to continue to make that decision. So then Swamiji goes on to say, suddenly I can see my whole inner space was filled with that one decision. And that decision he made to raise himself. He goes on to say, when that decision exploded, I saw I am sitting as Buddha. Suddenly that explosion landed. and some other plane. Then he says, I thought, oh God, that's it, that's all. And then he says, I tell you, whenever you have a low mood, whenever you deviate, it is you who needs to raise yourself by yourself. Atma Dipo Bhava. Be a light unto yourself. So I think it's a very beautiful story and something you should write maybe on a little sticky and put it on your computer or your refrigerator or something. Because everybody and their brother can tell you to their blue in the face. They can give you all the advice in the world. And so many doubts come up about everything in your life. You always have moments when there's nobody around you. And then what are you going to do? You're always going to call somebody for an answer? No. You have to be with yourself. Be a strength to yourself. Be that light unto yourself. So write it down and start to internalize that truth that Swamiji gave us from the life of Buddha and from his own life. So from the life of Buddha, it's called the Apta Pramana. And from Swamiji's life, we call it the Atma Pramana. So that's the sacred scripture, the sacred verses from the lives of our great masters of India. So I hope you enjoyed today. Please be a light unto yourself. Nityanandam.